Welcome to Workforce Solutions tutorial on organizing your work for success. We're going to present a few easy and simple tips that really impact your workday organization and productivity. It's important to note that the tips and practices apply to nearly every job in every occupation or industry. We're going to cover multitasking, how to set up your day for success, some tips for organizing success, some to-do list styles that might fit your working style, how to arrange your work area, how to get started, and some to-do apps for your smartphone. Let's take a look at multitasking, an activity claimed to improve productivity. Devices like smartphones encourage multitasking. Jobs are set up to multitask. It's seen as a highly effective way of dealing with multiple needs. In fact, research shows that multitasking doesn't work. A respected Stanford University study actually showed that those who consider themselves to be great multitaskers made more mistakes, remembered fewer details, and actually took longer to complete a set of tasks than those who do not consider themselves to be frequent multitaskers and didn't multitask. Multitaskers are just not good at multitasking, no matter what they think. Multitaskers take longer to complete a set of tasks. The error rate is higher with multitaskers. Memory and retention is poorer with multitaskers. Research by the American Psychological Association showed that multitaskers take time when they shift to refocus, even though they might feel it's seamless. And multitaskers took as much as 40% longer to complete that set of tasks compared to someone who focused on it one at a time because they didn't have to refocus. A company CEO can be said to be the most successful person in the company, yet surveys show that CEOs of companies almost universally do not multitask. They focus on one item, get it out of the way, then go to the next one. There are situations where multitasking may work. Here we have a person who is reading, and they're listening to music at the same time, and the music doesn't have lyrics. Since those two activities use different parts of the brain, they can be done simultaneously unless the music has lyrics, which is processed by the same part of the brain that processes reading. So, be like a postage stamp. Stick to one thing until you get there. So how do you stop multitasking? Well, don't start your morning by looking at your phone. Create a list of daily priorities. Reduce or eliminate outside distractions and set a time to them. Be prepared to say no. If you keep your work area clean and organized, focus on one task and then move to the next. And be aware of your multitasking habits you might do without thinking about it. First, let's talk about setting ourselves up for success when we start and end our workday. You need to be at work on time. Plan your home life to arrive and start on time. When you're late, you're in a scramble to get going, and it's likely you won't get caught up for half the day. If you keep being 10 minutes late, then get up 10 minutes early and leave 10 minutes early. Then, when you arrive, take 5 minutes to organize your start and start your day. For example, set up your toolbox or equipment tag for the day. Scan email, respond to high priority, and delete the copies and chaff and advertising. Save the rest for a time later. Have a quick review of the work site for safety hazards. Connect with coworkers you'll be working with. Check your to-do list. Do things that get you set for the start of tomorrow in a 15-minute wrap at the end of your day. Get rid of emails and texts. File or store papers, shred confidential. Return items you're no longer using. Review, and if needed, rewrite your to-do list. Throw used stuff or trash out and recycle. Set your tool batteries for recharging for the next day. Do basic maintenance on tools, such as cleaning them or lubing them. Clean up your work site of debris, materials, or safety hazards. The Take 5 and the 15-minute wrap work for any type of job or occupation and can be particularly good where attention to safety is important. In between your Take 5 start and your 15-minute wrap, here's some things to do to help organize your day. Schedule an organizing time. Try to do this once a week. This might be for only an hour, but some things you might do is organize your tools in your toolbox or your work area. Set up files of document storage in your computer. Organize email folders and computer file folders and put stuff in the appropriate spot. Go over equipment you work with and do maintenance tasks. Put repeated tasks on autopilot. If you write notes or thank you letters to customers or reports on your work, the stuff that's repeated every time, make it a copy and just add to it what changes. Use an Excel spreadsheet to do the math. Plug in the math to already existing formulas you've put in there to get the results. And look for digital to-do lists instead of using paper all the time. Try identifying a single major goal for each day. Keep a blog or a journal. It's kind of useful to refer back to those for things that you did weeks or months ago that you might not clearly remember. Follow the 3 times rule for emails or texts. In other words, if the issue is not resolved by the 3rd email or text, call and talk to the people or set up a conference call and resolve it. Take breaks. Get moving. If you're on a desk job where you don't move much, get up and move every half hour. It only needs to be for a couple minutes. If you're in an active job, take a brief low-activity break. The idea behind all this is to clear the air and allow you to refocus much more effectively. Use your to-do list to make a daily plan. Use the rule of 3. If something you have to do is going to take 3 minutes or less, do it now. Don't add it to a list. Don't be a slave to emails or texts. Set times during the day where you go in and respond to those things. And when you stop work, stop work. Don't burn out by continuing to work after hours. Create zones based upon how much you use items daily. If you're at a desk, note where the area where things in easy arm's reach, here labeled primary, is where your most common work is placed. At the end of the arm's reach is a secondary area, where less common use items or items you may not use as frequently are placed. Other areas that are not easy to get to are for infrequent or stored areas. Put work projects, tasks, or tools you don't use often outside the secondary or primary area. Pick areas for your computer work or work with books, forms, or papers, where specific mechanical or lab work, and where your phone goes. Keep the area in front of the phone for phone work only, such as recording messages or a phone registry. Your dead plant goes behind the monitor, which is space you probably don't use. The same theory can be used for a mechanical workbench or a lab bench or any work area. Place what you're working on all the time in the primary area. Place stuff you refer to but are still using in the secondary. And things you don't refer to or use very often, put in back where you don't reach them that much. The to-do list is the cornerstone of organization. Here we see the traditional way of organizing. Make a simple master list of all the tasks you need to do and when you need to do them. And then each day pick off what you can do in that day on a separate daily list. This keeps you from being overwhelmed by the master list. Make your daily list in the 15 minutes at the end of the day so it's ready for the next morning when you get to start it. You can do it manually, or there's software programs that can do this digitally, but a different way may work better for you. Are you always trying to do too much? Organize by task size. Make a master to-do list sorted by big, medium, and small tasks. Then for your daily to-do, pick one big task, then a mix of medium and small you think you can get done today. If you're a person who has lots more energy at certain times of the day than at others, organize by that. Make a list broken into high energy involvement tasks, medium and low. Then pick off tasks and put them in the time periods of the day that match your energy level. You often have trouble focusing on important and urgent versus unimportant and not urgent items. Try a matrix listing your tasks by important, not important, urgent, not urgent, then do the important and urgent tasks first. Chances are you will never do the not important, not urgent tasks, and you'll end up dropping them. But at least you're not doing them instead of the important and urgent tasks. Do the remainder as you have time and based on priority. A to-do list app for your smartphone is great for movable jobs. Those are jobs where your location or your work area changes frequently. Here are some of the top to-do apps you can get for Apple iOS, Windows, or Android. Todoist is probably the most popular. It's free with limited features, or it's $37 a year fully featured. TikTok is very similar to Todoist. It comes with some extra features in the free version, and the fully featured version is $27 a year. Microsoft To Do. It's 100% free. It's a great choice if integrating with other Microsoft functions, such as Outlook, is important. Google Tasks is also 100% free. It's a good choice if integrating with Google Functions is important, but it has fewer features and it can't do recurring tasks like the others do. And here's how to get started with organizing for success activities. Try one or two things at a time to see if they work. Get an organization buddy to start with you and partner in trying out these new things. Add item by item instead of doing it all at once, but don't be afraid of dropping something if you stick with it for a couple weeks and it simply doesn't work for you. We do recommend, however, there's 4 things you must do. Arrange your at-home life to arrive on time at work. Have a to-do list of some type. A smartphone version might be good for you. Take 5 to start your day and do the 15-minute wrap at the end of the day to plan the next day's success. So we covered why multitasking doesn't work according to research. We showed how to set up your day for success. We shared some tips for organizing success during your day. We showed you some to-do list styles different than the traditional that might fit your working style. We showed you how you can arrange your work area based on your primary and secondary tasks. We talked about how you can get started, and we reviewed some to-do apps for your smartphone. Thank you for viewing, and best wishes on becoming an organized success.